Have you ever wondered what powers the multitude of processes happening in our body every second of our lives? The answer is closer than you might think. It's right within our cells, in a tiny powerhouse known as the mitochondrion. But how does this tiny organelle manage such a Herculean task? Let's dive into the fascinating world of mitochondria and unravel its secrets. Regularly termed as the powerhouses of the cell, mitochondria have a key role: energy production. This energy reserves itself in an ATP molecule, also known as adenosine triphosphate. But what's the process behind ATP production? It's a multiple-step process that has its roots in our food intake. The food we consume is decomposed into tinier molecules, including glucose. This glucose is then utilized by the mitochondria for ATP production. This essential process is responsible for all cellular activities, reinforcing why mitochondria are frequently dubbed the powerhouses of the cell. Step 1. The digestion. Our bodies break down the food we consume into smaller molecules. Among these are glucose and fatty acids, which will enter the mitochondrion and kick off the energy production process. Step 2. Glycolysis and the Krebs cycle. Glycolysis happens outside the mitochondrion and breaks down glucose into a molecule called pyruvate. Pyruvate then enters the mitochondrion and starts the Krebs cycle, also known as the citric acid cycle. This cycle breaks down the pyruvate even further and generates electrons. Step 3. The electron transport chain. The generated electrons enter a series of reactions known as the electron transport chain. This chain is located within the inner membrane of the mitochondrion. As electrons move down the chain, they generate a flow of protons across the membrane. This flow creates an electrochemical gradient, a kind of potential energy. Step 4. ATP synthesis. Finally, the electrochemical gradient powers an enzyme called ATP synthase. As the name suggests, ATP synthase synthesizes ATP. The ATP molecules then leave the mitochondrion and provide energy for the countless processes happening in our bodies. To summarize, mitochondria work by converting the food we eat into ATP, the energy currency of our cells. This process involves digestion, glycolysis, and the Krebs cycle, the electron transport chain, and ATP synthesis. Each step is a critical part of the larger process, and without any one of them, our cells would not have the energy they need to function. So next time you're enjoying a meal, remember that you're not just fueling yourself. You're also fueling the millions of mitochondria working tirelessly in your cells to keep you going. It's a microscopic world within us that is as fascinating as it is essential. The understanding of mitochondria not only paves the way for appreciating the complexity of life, but also holds keys to many unsolved mysteries in the world of science and medicine.